Chop, chop. Well, hello, Coffee Time friends. How you doing? We are doing an old favorite, but we don't eat it much. It's probably not a healthy favorite, but I'm just cutting up some fresh tomatoes to go with these canned tomatoes. This one, if you have fresh tomatoes, you can use them, but I use canned whole tomatoes this because I need all that beautiful juice. And just cut up tomatoes wouldn't make that kind of juice unless I added juice. So I just used a can of whole tomatoes to get me some good juice going. And right now I'm just finishing up, this was a couple of slices of tomato we had left. Now I'm going to tell you a little secret about this tomato right here. This is the tomato we used on our hamburger last night. And we had a couple of slices left. And how we preserve it, this is just us. I'm not saying this is for you to do. We put it in a Ziploc bag and leave it laying right here on the counter. The air conditioner's going. If you put it in the refrigerator,
it's cool enough in here.
It takes the flavor out of the tomato. I don't like it, and it don't hurt. You can see right here. This is the same tomato that we used last night, and we had 2 slices left. Put it in a Ziploc bag and left it laying right here on the cabinet. Zipped up, safe as could be. And actually, I would put it on a sandwich. There was nothing wrong with it. You can see it there. But these are 2 Romas that come out of the garden. And I just added a little bit of fresh tomato to it because anytime you can get a hold of fresh tomato, how fresh are you? Smell that, Mama. You're smellers.
It smells on it.
Okay. It just was soft.
It's I didn't pick you soon enough, I guess.
Okay. I thought, I don't want to take any chance on messing that whole dish up.
I smell it down there.
You smell it?
Oh, it ain't sour smelling.
It's good? Okay. So, don't want to take no chance on running the whole dish. Too much going into it. So, but not a lot. This is not a big recipe. This is just quick and easy. This can be used as a side. Probably anybody in the world but me and Mama would say it was a side. We call it almost like a casserole or one dish wonder, and we're just going to eat it as is here. Mama makes something similar to this, only she don't use a casserole.
Quick and easy.
Hers is quick and easy, and hers is just in a kettle, and you just get the tomatoes hot.
Well, Mommy always just had the tomatoes boiling hot. She put a little sprinkle of salt and sugar and broke up light bread and wheat, and it was sweet, and it was like a good dessert or a good dish for us. We ate it all the time for
you call it tomato dumplings.
Tomato dumplings, yeah.
Now that would be, and the difference in the 2 dishes that we got going on here, excuse me, is this will be a crunchy topping. The bread won't be like dumplings. It'll be more like croutons on the top. And you'll see a little difference in dumplings in this. This could be used as a side for sure. But if you're a tomato addict like we are and just love them, you can make a meal out of this. And
we used to do that, just eat.
Yeah. But now I'm going to tell you, it's got sugar in it. Don't come at me over the sugar and warn you ahead of time. Prepare yourself for the use of a little bit of sugar tonight. Now you can, I know some of you are going to ask me, can you use stevia, monk fruit? Yeah, sure.
I never have though.
Mama's not into none of that. I have bought it. It's in there on the shelf. It's perfectly preserved, just like it came in the door.
There's a lot of stevia.
I guess I could start using it more. All right, so into this is just store-bought whole canned tomatoes that I chopped up. This is homegrown tomatoes that I'm adding to it. It's doesn't hit the floor.
I didn't think it went that
It went all the way. So
you ain't cooking.
You ain't cooking me. So
you
that.
I'll get that out of you.
So that's all you do right there. It's just cut you up a bowl of tomatoes. Now to this bowl of tomatoes, and I'm not going to measure, I'm just going to give you some measurements. Use a teaspoon of dried basil. Or if you want to use fresh basil, you can, and I've got fresh basil out there. I'll just see if I can get it. So that's the flavoring, and this is just parsley. Parsley will just accentuate the other flavors. The parsley smells good, and it makes it pretty. I put a good heaping couple of tablespoons there. Okay. Add a little salt, and just cover the top with salt, half teaspoon of salt. Because tomatoes love salt, potatoes love salt. And of course, I'm going to add black pepper just because I just love black pepper. And it just makes everything taste good. So now I need, get Mama's Tupperware over here.
The oldie.
Now this recipe, when I used to make it,
spoon or you got your one?
I've got one. Called for a cup of sugar. I swear I did. I'm gonna use a half a cup. I made this juice. I'm just gonna use that much right there. Not even a half a cup. But it did call for a whole cup of sugar. But I'm gonna I've not made with a cup of sugar in several years. This is a half, not even a whole half, but the new recipe that I changed around, I made a half a cup. But
There's a lot of stuff stuck to the
I
side.
didn't quite put.
There you go.
I didn't quite put. Here's another. This is coated heavily with butter. Okay, we all still friends. So this is, you coat it good with butter, and here's even a clump left in there. That's fine, because you want it to have a little flavor. You want that butter flavor in there. And this, you probably wouldn't even stick, but this butter will melt, give it a delicious flavor. So I used about 2 full tablespoons of butter just to butter this pan because I wanted it extra. Now in here we go.
Oh, you did such a good job pouring that. I'm proud of it.
Thank you, Mama. That's all I need to hear.
Yeah.
Proud of me. Look how Mama's back on the job. She's clocked in now, people.
I'm good.
She's taking stuff right out of my hand just like the good old days. Now, if you can see this, you'll see how delicious it already looks. Absolutely delicious. Now here's the part. This is just what we call white bread, sandwich bread, plain old white bread.
Do you want the butter melted?
No yeah, if you don't care. No nutritional value whatsoever in white bread. I'm fully aware of that. Fully and completely aware of that. 2 methods. You can lay this bread on here, but if you want it to be pretty and you want it to have lots of little, and use the crust and all, you want it to have lots of little pockets for browning, I break it up just like this, rough break it. I don't try to make it all even. I don't worry about, is it,
That won't be enough, will it?
probably not.
Take all of this and one go.
Yeah, take all of
Oh,
that.
it's nice.
It's 3 tablespoons. Here we go.
Hardly 3.
2.5 tablespoons. We're just gonna put a little butter on this, and it's gonna make like toast on top. And you're gonna let this cook, let it bubble and brown, as they say. This right now is 3 slices of bread. I'm probably gonna get some pushback on this one, and you don't have to bother because I know I didn't start out by saying healthy to make scalloped tomatoes. This is butter, bread, and sugar. We've not fixed this in about 3 years. I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is the video that went viral when we first started, and we was just so happy to have a couple hundred people on our page, and we were just happy to show a little tomato. And this is the one that I started getting negative comments on. And they were like, what? Look at all that sugar. And I'm like, who is dissing my video? Because it was just friends who was watching. I can't believe he did that. And I thought, and when I got to looking, it was a couple of people from, I think it was from California or something, and they were healthy. And they were trying to, live a lot longer than we was evidently. And I thought, who are these people and how'd they get on my page? Well, then that night we just went crazy. Mama, maybe this will be the recipe that gets us to 200,000 followers.
I hope so. I'm running out of time.
Mama says she's running out of time for her birthday for the 2K that she's wanting. I'm not going to put this whole piece. But I do want to cover all these little spots. Now see, I'm putting the brown part too. If you see tomato, that's how much bread you need. That's one reason I like to make it in a 9x9 like this. Because if you make it in a 12 by 8 by 7 by 13, whatever, 9 by 13, then you've got that whole section to cover. And it takes a lot more bread. So that's as fancy as you get, folks, right there. Then I'm gonna stir this real butter. This is just real butter, nothing healthy here, folks. And I'm just gonna spoon it right on, just like this. And if you've made anything like this, or your parents made anything like this, say, hey, that's an old favorite of ours. We loved it. Because if you've ever eaten it and you like tomatoes, I don't think there's anything to do but love it. I really don't. I don't think anyone who likes tomatoes likes this. I mean, who don't like tomatoes and toast? So that was not hardly 3 tablespoons of butter. About a stick of butter like that. Mama.
I'm ready.
I need the sugar. No, I don't. Here, never mind. I've got sugar right here.
Oh, I set it over here.
That's fine. I've got it. I've got it. I was like, well, right here's sugar. And this will be easier too. Now, can y'all see that? So this is the bread, the butter, and here comes the sugar, 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 sugar. There's
a chicken.
Oh, is that a gnat or is that parsley?
I don't know if it might be parsley.
Better have been parsley.
You lost it?
It was a gnat, Mama.
Oh, good thing I didn't see it.
I'm over these gnats, people.
We haven't
been having them, but we've started and we've not had a cantaloupe. We did cut a cantaloupe up yesterday.
Oh, that is right.
And then we had gnats. Now you put whatever sugar you feel comfortable with. Your goal to have at the end is just a crunchy topping. Now if anybody's worried about that gnat, I'm not, because it's fixing to go into a 400-degree oven.
Is that it?
Yeah.
You got your right kind. Not mine you're using.
Get your own right guy. So there it is. And that's simple and easy. That's an easy, quick side dish. Tonight, we just had to be using it for our complete meal.
It's 12 minutes.
12 minutes.
That's what it's on me saying.
Mm-hmm. And it should be right. Just let it get hot and let that... Hi from Illinois. Hey, how are you? Okay. Okay. Too much sugar. Thank you, Tracy. That's what I discovered. I know it's a lot of sugar. I don't need comment on how much sugar, or it's more than what you like. You put what you like. It's a half a cup of sugar in the dish and a good heat tablespoon on the dish. It is a lot of sugar. It is butter. It's like chicken and dumplings. There's not a thing healthy about it, except maybe a little bit of the chicken on chicken and dumplings. I love those tomatoes. Have them off there. See, Cindy, aren't those good?
Ooh.
Hi, John and Mama from Galveston, Texas. Well, hello there. Hello, Alex. No sugar is needed whatsoever, Terry says.
Well, it ain't.
It ain't.
Scalloped.
It ain't the. I guess you could just have tomatoes with that, but we're not here to discuss the recipe. The recipe is the recipe. You all leave the sugar out, add more, put twice as much, put half as much, make it your own. But that is the recipe. And I did cut it in half. Hi from Indiana. I guess that's what that was, Wendy. Hi from the middle of California. I love tomatoes. Sure, I do too. Looks delicious. Hi from Iowa.
Oh, wow.
Hello from Clinton, Texas. Canton, Texas.
Oh,
Hey, Gloria. Huh?
I never heard of Clinton, Texas.
There might be one, but I don't know. Hello, John and Mama from Iowa. Love the tomato and bread casserole. Thank you, Karen. Brown sugar would be good, do you think? Yes. And I have seen recipes that even call for brown sugar in it. But we're tomato purists. The brown sugar does give it a maple flavor. The white sugar just makes it sweet tomato, like kind of like the dumplings or something else. But you can put brown sugar, and I've seen that even written in the recipes before for scalloped tomatoes. And onion. People put brown sugar and onion, and we don't put anything except the tomato, a little basil, just a little, and a little salt and sugar. And that salt is not to make it salty. The salt's just to bring out the sweet a little more, kind of like a pie.
We ate.
But Karen, if you make that, let us know. I may make it sometime. Looks good, John. I've never heard of these, but I'm always willing to try something new. Yeah, Lynn, I am too. And this is one of those dishes you don't eat it every week. You know, this is something we eat maybe once a year when we have tomatoes in, but we've not had it.
A long time.
We didn't have it last year.
I don't think I could remember last year whether we had.
I don't think we had it last year, so we don't even have it just ever a little bit.
We had it quite often when we had tomatoes in when I was growing up.
It's a good
Not
go-to.
like this, but like Mommy made it, just in a kettle and sugar and salt and bread.
Grew up on this, and my kids love it too. Just called it breaded tomatoes. Say breaded tomatoes. Yeah, Juanita, that would be good. That'd be a better name than scalloped tomatoes. Hi, John and Mama. My mom used sugar and onions and green peppers. Yum. Yes, green peppers. I've seen it recipes with green peppers in it too. Love watching you guys. I don't know because I've not done the research on it, but I'm almost positive all these dishes like wilted lettuce and onions and tomatoes with sugar and little black bread. A lot of these are Depression era recipes. It's when you had lean and you ate what you had. If you had tomatoes, you had plenty of them. Let's do something with them. Let's cook them, and we've eaten sandwiches. Probably not even sandwiches. Probably just eat tomatoes. Let's heat them up and see what we can do with them. That's why Mama's mama probably got just adding bread because they probably baked their own bread and they had bread or biscuits, and they just cooked the tomatoes and added the bread to it to make it dumpling-like. But now, in her case, the bread would not toast.
No, it's soft.
It would be soft like a dumpling, and you would have tomato dumplings. And that's what the bottom of this will be. So you'll have that bread. The bottom of it will be soft like a dumpling, but the top will brown like toast.
We had, for desserts, we had blackberries that we'd go pick
Thank you, Nancy.
and blackberry dumplings.
You can make dumplings of anything. Dumplings is just a process of boiling and dropping in some kind of dough. So you can have blackberry dumplings, raspberry dumplings, peach dumplings. You can have potato dumplings. You can have pinto bean dumplings.
Yeah,
all these are just well-known dumplings that are out there. Any kind of fruit that you can cook, pear dumplings. The list goes on.
We ate what we had. That's what
tomato dumplings, yeah. Squash dumplings. Anything you can boil in a kettle. Anything you can boil in a kettle. and add a little dough to it, you call it a dumpling. That's the reason chicken broth makes such a good dumpling. But you can have beef dumplings. I don't know if y'all knew that. Some people think there's just chicken dumplings out there. There is tons of dumplings. My mom called it sweet tomatoes. Yeah, Shirley.
Yeah. Daddy.
Can you use canned tomatoes? I did, Liliana. That was 1 can of whole tomatoes. And the reason I use that is if I just chopped up all the fresh tomatoes we have here. We went to the farmer's market, by the way. I'll show you our bounty. If we just...
Now, those Romas is what I raised.
Yeah. This is farmer's market and mama's combined. If I just took several of these and chopped it up, they wouldn't be as watery and juicy. So having a can of tomatoes is handy because you get all that juice in it. So I just cut up some of these little Romas, put in there. These are from mama's garden. And had them and then the cans with it. But if you want to make this in the dead of winter when a tomato can't even be found, you can use diced tomatoes. You could use diced tomatoes tonight and get all that juice out.
I like the whole tomatoes and
Ham
dishes
dumplings,
like
yes, Shirley.
is because they are the better quality of tomatoes than the little diced ones.
The bigger the tomato you buy in the can, the better quality of tomato you're getting. That's the reason we buy a lot of stewed tomatoes. Whole tomatoes. Because, of course, the whole tomatoes are the first picking. They want to save those whole tomatoes because they've got to be pretty well pristine. If you get down to diced, then petite diced, then crushed, and then juice. Sauce. So the more of the actual fruit you can see in the can, that's you're getting the topper quality. I just watched where Cooking with Brenda Gant made ham and yes, Miss Brenda's got it going on. She knows all. I bet she knows all the dumplings. This does not sound good. Never seen you guys make a weird recipe. Lisa, we make some weird ones sometimes. This is an old-fashioned Southern recipe. This is not ours. I cannot take credit for it. This is an old-fashioned Southern. Like I said, I think it probably came from the Depression era. It probably does sound weird to cook tomatoes and put light bread on it and sugar. But it's not something we made up. If it was, I'd tell you. So we've made up this.
I was raised on it. Not this kind of dish, but just
tomatoes and bread.
Tomatoes and bread and sugar. I was raised on it. All my life we had it.
We used to serve this at the restaurant I worked at, and people loved it. They came far and wide. And we called it Scalloped Tomatoes, and people loved it. It's a well-known dish here, so it's nothing that we can take credit for. Be like us trying to take credit for chicken and dumplings just because we make them. We ain't taking no credit. Can y'all hear a wild dog out there barking?
Yeah.
That's Oliver.
Oh, I hope he ain't hung in the railing. He's got big and can't make it.
Mustard greens with your wilted lettuce. Now, we've had that before. Let's see who wrote that. Neil, is it Neil? We've had mustard greens, mixed greens, and our wilted lettuce before, and it's good. But most of the time it's just iceberg lettuce, or I'll buy romaine lettuce and wilt it sometime in the winter if we really get desperate for some wilted lettuce and bacon. I have never had these, Margaret. It's worth a try. Right now they're smelling so good. Oh, it's filling the room. I have never had these. You need to try them. Brenda Gant made ham dumplings the other day. Yummy. Yes, Catherine. Ham dumplings are yummy. I'm glad you're feeling better, Mama. She's back to almost 100%. She has buzzed around like a butterfly all day. You've seen how she is tonight. She's feeling so much better. And I'm so thankful for y'all's prayers and thankful for the healing. It's been a blessing. And I'm just glad she had no COVID, no flu. So everything is, hopefully she's back to, she might be 99.9% today. Trying to eat healthy already, lost 40 pounds.
Ooh, bless her heart.
So don't need sugar. No, Greg, this is Greg. Nope, you don't need sugar, Greg, if you're trying to lose those pounds, or the white bread. Sugar and white bread both are not the best when you're trying to lose some weight. So there it is. Now look at the crystals of sugar on there, where the butter and and that's it. It's done. When you get to that point, it's hot. It was bubbling just a little, and it's done. And we're gonna make a meal out of it. That's gonna be our real deal meal right here. You could serve this with anything you could eat tomatoes with, like pork chops or.
You're gonna drink water.
I have water right here, Mama. It's good. Let's serve us up some of this. We've even got the tomato bowls out.
It matches everything.
Oh, that toast smells so good. Do y'all like toast? Now see, folks, that it may look better to you than it sounded to you. There it is, just like downtown. Like I was saying, we used to serve this at the restaurant, and people, when we ran out, it was a sad time for some folks. They just hated to hear it. And I've only ate this my whole life. Some people eat stuff their whole lives, and then, like, some of y'all eat stuff that we've never heard of, and we're like, that would sound good. Let's bless it, Mom. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for this meal. We thank you for providing it for our bodies. We thank you, Lord, for all your blessings, your mercy, and your love, and we thank you that Mom is much better. Dear Lord, we just thank you for watching over our country and our nation. Dear Lord, be with our world. Be with every prayer request of those that are here gathered, and spoken and unspoken. In your name we pray. Amen. Mm-hmm. All right, Mama, you can do the first review. Those home cut up tomatoes. What's the review?
It is good. Takes me back.
It is good. Ain't nothing wrong with this. Sugar and all. And I will say this, it don't need that other half a cup of sugar. So
I ain't had no sugar today.
We cut it down to a half. I can hardly put a half in it. Go with a half or a little less than a half will be great.
Very good.
It's hard to believe something so simple can taste so good. And here's that bread on the bottom. See how it's soft and soggy like a dumpling. Does this taste like your mama's?
She didn't put the basil and parsley in it.
But it's still.
Yeah, it tastes like hers.
We'll make your version sometime, Mama.
It don't take 5 minutes to make it.
This would be good over some noodles. I'm telling you, this is just good. It's one of those unexpected goods at the moment.
Yeah.
It, especially if you're using it as a side, you know, people just try it, they're going to be surprised at how good it is. Some of y'all who were raised on this, you probably can taste it. Just, oh, I remember how good that was. And it does hit the spot, especially if you're a tomato connoisseur like we are. Happy Saturday, John and Mama. Happy Saturday, Ava. How are you? Trying to eat healthy. Great, good luck. And you've lost 40 pounds. It sounds like you've about won your battle with that.
That's great.
Missed the beginning. What is it, Barbie? It's scalloped tomatoes. What was some other names? Breaded tomatoes, somebody said. Sweet tomatoes. We've called it scalloped tomatoes for years. Probably my granny would have called it sweet tomatoes and bread or something. Because basically that's what it is. And you can go back and watch the beginning of the video and see how simple it was. Just a sprinkle of basil, half a cup of sugar in this whole container, and put light bread on it. I think I ended up putting about 4 pieces, maybe a bit.
Did you watch how much bread you put on? You just covered it completely.
Just completely cover it. And then a little bit of butter. And a sprinkle of sugar. That's it. This would be delicious, like I said, over some noodles. The tomatoes and the basil, just heat it like that. Just tastes great. I'll tell you what, we both have clean bowls. That didn't take long.
No, I got just about or 2 more bread.
That's the best you've eaten anything.
I know it. I ain't had none in a long time. Makes me think of my mommy a lot.
It's delicious. That's all we got on this Saturday. We got up, we went to the farmer's market, we've done a few chores. You know, you have your weekly chores, laundry, and all that stuff that's facing you every week. Good times. I had to go get baby food and all the fixings.
Yeah. I thought the baby might be hung out there. She wasn't hung. All he was doing was the mommy was laying in the bed, relaxing, and he wanted her up out of there playing.
I told you, Mama. I told you. I sat out there and drank coffee, and I watch them. And Abby will be minding her own business, trying to live her best life. Probably thinking back times before she had children. And he will attack her and bite her ears and carry on. He's the ringleader in
He just wanted her to play with him.
That's what he
I
wants.
thought the way he kept barking, I thought, oh, what if he's got stuff in
I
that
wasn't
bed?
worried. I wasn't worried because it wasn't that kind of sound. It was his usual, I'm meaner than a striped snake sound.
Yeah, he just wanted her to play.
And that's what he does. She will be laying out there under that shade trees and just enjoying her life, and he'll take a leap and run off the porch and run down there and grab her.
That's what the guy that mows the yard, he said, he was playing with him and said, he's got Oliver's got so big, he said, he jumps right on her.
He's awful. He's got about twice as big as he was probably when y'all seen him. He's big, Eddie.
Yeah.
All right, folks, we're going to say goodbye because we're through. And we've been eating. And we'll be here in the morning, Lord willing, for Sunday School highlights. And then Southern Sunday lunch. We've narrowed it down to the protein. I think it's going to be a chicken. So we'll see what we come up with from there. But I'm looking forward to something good for Sunday. What did we have last Sunday?
I don't remember.
They'll remember, because they remember what we had Monday. Chicken noodle soup. I made homemade chicken noodle soup last Sunday. Because you were sick.
Yeah, I didn't go to church.
Because I was trying to think, we didn't have much because you was feeling bad.
This week's feel like it's 2 weeks long or 3.
I made homemade chicken noodle soup. But it was good and it lasted.
Yeah, it was really good.
And you ended up eating it quite a bit.
2 or 3 times.
Yeah. Because it was warm and soothing. I put a little more broth in it. It's good for her. All right, Mama. Say goodbye or good night, whichever one you're going to go with. Because
I'm going to go with good night.
it's still early.
It's 7:20. I'm going to go with good night.
7:20. It's bedtime. Lights out.
That sounds like 12:30 at night.
Some of these young people here are going, so what's 7:20?
Yeah, when you're young, you're set to bed early so you can do good in school the next day and stuff. And you get some mad and aggravated because you have to go to bed early. When you get my age, you just, it's just a treat. It's a blessing to get
I always
to go.
notice on movies, they'll say, I'll pick you up at 8:30. I'm like, that's the middle of the night.
8, 9 o'clock at dinner.
I'll pick you up at 8:30. Isn't that a little late for supper?
I'm a snoozing a lot of times.
That's funny. We're Southerners, and we live here in the middle of nowhere. Everything's closing up by 8 or 9.
Going to bed early, to get up early, to milk the cows, feed the chickens, and do your work.
We do get up early. And I wake up early. It just seems like no matter what time I go to bed.
You got out and worked in the garden early before it got too hot and stuff too.
And we still do that. If we're going to do anything outside, it's probably going to be early.
I have to anymore, for sure.
And I really love getting up early and getting out on that front porch and drinking me some coffee and watching the sun come up. We have the most beautiful sunrises here. And
sunsets. We get sunrise on the front porch and beautiful sunsets on the back porch.
And that's where I'm usually sitting whenever I can. So the morning you get the most beautiful sunrise, and it comes in, and those sun rays hit you in the face, and you're drinking your coffee. It's like being on vacation, just being on the front porch.
And other morning, the bird sings and chirps and goes on.
The birds sing. Our birds here, they got a lot to say about 5 in the morning before it's even daylight.
They love to sing early.
And I'll say, "It's really got that much to talk about at dark?"
It's
still
spreading
dark.
the gossip that happened all through the night.
It's still dark, and they're already up and chirping.
They sound pretty though.
They're pretty, but sometimes I want to snooze. I'm like, William's hush.
I know, you don't tell birds stuff.
I do, Mom. Can you give it 30 minutes?
Rest a few more minutes.
Wait till the sun hits the sky. Y'all have a blessed night. Make you some of this. Use stevia. Use monk fruit. But try this.
Try it salty instead of sweet. You might not care. I wouldn't, but
And it's sitting over sweet. It's not syrupy sweet. It's just got that little tinge to it.
a cup would have been pretty sweet though.
Yeah, and that's what the original recipe called for. Was 2 cups of sugar.
1 cup you said I thought.
1 cup of sugar. And I halfened it. I was thinking I halfened it to a cup, but I halfened it to a half a cup. So it originally called for 1 cup of sugar. And I made it that way years ago. But I've cut down to half and not hardly half. And it's right on where we need to be. Bless you.
Oh, feels like I'm about to sneeze, but I can't.
Okay. We're going to go then. Let her sneeze. Talk to you later. Bye.
Good night, Mama. God bless you. Bye-bye.